Hey everyone, it's Barbara Ann. Welcome back to my channel, Straight Out of Context. Copyright disclaimer. Under the Copyright Act of 1976, I am within my full legal right to share these following clips via video and audio. The following creators allow reshare, redistribution, and download of their content, and as always, I credit in the description box down below. Fair use, public domain, TikTok third-party license, and TikTok live automatic third-party license for the use of commentary, reaction, teaching, news reporting, research, comment, and criticism. I am legally within my basic human, civil, and constitutional right to share under the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. To share my expressions, views, thoughts, opinions, feelings, and critiques. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees my freedom of religion, freedom to exercise of, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, free assembly, and the right to petition the government and air my grievances. The First Amendment does not cover lies that amount to defamation, slander, libel, harassment, stalking, cyberstalking, bullying, cyberbullying, threats, or any other verbal crimes.
Do you cook?
Okay, so Ken is the cook in the relationship. I'm learning to cook. I know how to cook a spaghetti. I know how to cook like rosemary, garlic potatoes. So if I have a cookbook, I can cook it. But without it, I'm useless.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you should start practicing and cooking, and then you could have a cookbook.
Ooh.
What would your cookbooks be called?
Ooh. Gypsy's Treats.
Wait, I'm really good with
Titles.
Yeah, yeah take it from me. I mean, you already have, but always put your name in a subtitle.
Right.
Yeah, if you have a great name. Do you like your name?
I feel like I have like grown up with it so much that like I feel like I like when somebody else says that their name is Gypsy, I'm like, but I'm Gypsy.
I find that statement to be kind of odd because everybody grows up with their name. Your name is just your name. My name is Barbara Ann, and I'm only 39. Barbara was one of the top baby names in the 1940s, but I was named after Barbara Streisand and Ann Wilson, my mom's favorite singers.
It's just my name, but there's times that I loathe my name. Other times I like it, depending on the day.
You know what you're going to start to see in the next generation? You're going to meet people that are going to say their name's Gypsy, and they're going to say, my mom named me after you.
Lord. Yeah, Rose. I mean, I like, my name is Gypsy Rose, so I like the Rose part.
Where does your name come from?
My dad said that it came from Guns N' Roses. Like, he was a big Guns N' Roses fan.
Okay, now that is really weird because my youngest son is also named after Axl Rose. His middle name is Axel. Not my choice, was his dad's. He's a huge Guns N' Roses fan.
No idea the reference.
I don't know either.
That's what my dad says, so.
That's not the only thing.
By the way, Christy's right here.
Christy, can I meet you?
Yes, I will scooch. I will scoochy, so next to me.
Okay, I'm like fangirl. Just
She is a big fan of yours.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness, or we wouldn't be here today.
hi. Hey.
How are you?
Good. Doing great. How are you?
I'm okay. So I owe you an ice bucket challenge.
Yes, you do.
I do, because Gypsy and I talked about it on DM, and I was like nervous to ask her, but I was like, here goes nothing. I was like, tell Christy I'll do the ice bucket challenge if you come on my podcast. She's like, okay.
Yeah. She showed it to me like, do it. I mean, there's a reason why I had asked you, because I'm dyslexic, and y'all were the first show that I've seen that had a student with dyslexia.
That's actually not true. I mean, it might have been the first show she's seen, but there's been people with dyslexia on TV shows for a very long time. There was a show called The Princess and the Cabbie, 1981. River Phoenix even played a character that had dyslexia. And there has been over 9 different sitcoms from the 80s and 90s where there was a character with dyslexia.
And it touched home for me. So
Thank you. I wish they had gone further with that storyline.
It's rough, growing up with it. It's hard.
When I did it, I was young. So I was like 17 when I did it. I don't think I understood the magnitude of dyslexia and how it can impact and make you feel amongst your peers, especially when you're a teenager. It's only now that I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a big one. Because everyone always focuses with my character, Donna Martin on Beverly Hills 90210, about Donna drank and like almost didn't graduate and got kicked out of prom. But no one ever goes back to dyslexia. So I'm always excited when fans come up and say, thank you, that was impactful.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have my class screaming my name to graduate, but they did make, sign a card congratulating me, for graduating. Yeah, I mean, it's rough. I went to therapy every Friday from like 5th grade to 9th grade to retrain my brain, because I was with Saul, one was no, numbers reversed, algebra.
Oh, I bet that's rough. I bet math was terrible.
Math was terrible. It was hard.
Math's terrible for everyone.
Sure. I know. That was my least favorite subject.
Yeah, not many people like math.
I struggle.
Oh my gosh. Wait, so Aurora gets to go out with you for the first time?
Well,
outside world, no?
I'm keeping her.
She is taking
You're
care of her
keeping
for the party.
I wish I could have her outdoors. You can leave. She can stay.
She's
I'm a watcher.
So Aurora is going to call her Lolly. So she's not going by Grandma. She's going by Lolly. And so Lolly is going to watch her while Mommy and Daddy have a night out with friends.
Right, of course. Where does Lolly come from?
And as you already know, we all know how that night out went. She went out that Thursday night. She went out Friday and Saturday too. It was more like 3 nights out, not just one.
I just thought my grandfathers were called Pop. So I was like,
cute.
we're going to call Rod Pop and Lollipop, you know?
Aw,
You know,
I
so,
like
yeah.
that. That's adorable.
Yeah. So, I mean, like my mom, they'll call her Gigi, you know? So it's like, I'm too young to be a grandmother. Call mama or granny. So
That's where it really comes from.
right. I'm like, you know, but I mean, look, I hold her and I'm like, Lolly, Lolly, Lolly. I'm like, I'm determined for her to say it. And we swear she did like twice.
She
you
said
know?
Dada
Yeah.
like a day before Father's Day.
Stop.
And I was over the moon. And I'm like, I kept looking at the video again and again and again. I'm like, oh my God, she really said it.
That was the
Now I'm like,
best
Mom,
part. Yeah.
Mom,
Right.
say Mama now.
It's wild. And you'll see once you have more kids, it's very different. They're all unique in what they accomplish at what times.
Mhm.
And yeah, my firstborn said Dada first. And I was like, oh, crushed.
Right, because we carry them. You know?
Right.
That is completely natural because Dada is a natural sound. It's easier for them to mimic. That's why most babies say that first.
Like if
We're
You
the
know
ones
what
with
I
the
went
sleepless
through?
night.
yeah, we're the ones
Yeah.
waking up at the, all hours of the night, bottle feeding
Mhm.
or breastfeeding, but
Yeah.
look, when
And
she
we get-
sees her mommy, she blows.
Well, then when you get your second, you're like, please, I don't want to be 2-0. So it's like, yeah, my second said Mama. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Aw, so it is possible for them to say
It
Mama.
changes everything each of them do. That's what's so amazing. I mean, you were an only child, but like growing, like, I don't know, it's just there's so much that they do differently and so much they do alike. That's
Yeah.
just wildly fascinating to watch each of them grow and be
Mhm.
unique. So wait, you're going to go out with Ken for Mom and Dad night out.
Yes.
And she's going to have her first drink.
Yes.
I know.
I'm very excited for her. I wish I could be there with her.
Me too, because Ken might have to hold her hair back or her hair back or something, later that evening. But but I think
Or she might have to hold his. What do you mean?
he has none, girl.
She-
Out there and shake it. But
Shaved it off.
I think she's like be a sweet and fruity drink girl. That's what I am. I like sweet.
I told her
stuff.
whiskey sour.
That would be
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record a video of me doing the whiskey sour just for you.
do a taste test. Yeah, I mean, you might
Stop
like
it. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oh my gosh. I think she's gonna like it. She likes Sour Patch Kids.
Right,
They can get dangerous because they taste like you're not drinking alcohol.
right. That's like a Long Island iced tea or a Hawaiian punch. You think you're drinking?
Yeah.
She'll figure that out on her own. Just let her.
Those got me in trouble a few times. Not gonna
Oh my
lie.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a
I wonder what you'd be like on
celebration.
tequila. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
Tequila is
I
when you
guess
like
I'll
go
find
away for the first time on vacation, like you and
out. Oh,
Ken.
okay.
Do that, like, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Okay, but no, when I ask about you going out with Aurora, I mean, like, okay, so you go out with Ken first, but then your first outing, like, what will that be like? Wait, so
So-
you're not allowed to go to her doctor visits, or
oh no, I am. Like,
You are?
yeah. So usually it's me and Christy that take her visits and stuff like that. We have Ken and I have been out in the public with her before.
oh, I'm
It's
sorry, educate me. So you're allowed to go out within your town. There's certain limits what you can do.
I could go anywhere.
Okay,
Anywhere?
so parole, the only limitations that parole,
Yeah, like
it's very different than
here.
house arrest. It's like I could leave the state with my parole officer's permission. I just need 2
Okay.
weeks in advance. Like the last 6 months, Aurora and I have been going back and forth between Ken's house in New Orleans and my home here with my parents. And so it's like we've been kind of ping-ponging back and forth. But now this week I can move in with Ken and we could be a full-time family. And
Understand.
being off of parole, we can go on vacation anywhere, have no restrictions. So next month
Oh,
we are
I
going
see.
on vacation. And I cannot wait. We're going to the beach.
Can you say where? No.
Me and her dad are going.
Okay, yeah, it'll be me, Aurora, Ken, Dad, and Christy.
Is
Yeah,
it
we're
in the
gonna be
U.S.?
It is in the
Yes.
U.S.
Okay.
There you go.
She'll DM you later.
Okay, yeah, tell
Because he
me.
might let us know some good spots.
Here comes the Blanchards to Hawaii. Hawaii. Who thinks that they're going to Hawaii? I do.
Oh, somewhere I know.
I'm sure you've been there.
You might be wrong.
I think you've probably been there.
Oh, I think I know where you're going. Oh, wait, next month?
Next month, yeah.
Wait, we might go. Okay, well, we'll talk later.
We'll DM each other.
Come meet us.
When are you and Ken gonna get married?
I don't know. Like on the show, he went ring shopping, but he hasn't told me if he got a ring or if he didn't get a ring. Like he's been so vague about it, and so part of me's hoping that maybe we're on vacation, but
Oh,
I don't know.
see.
Like
But you guys want that, right?
yes,
Okay, okay.
I know that he has already talked to my dad and gotten my dad's blessing.
I don't know if I was supposed to say
No, I talked to Dad about it.
that. Okay, I was like, I don't know if I was supposed to tell you.
If you couldn't tell, this was clearly recorded some weeks ago because supposedly Ken already proposed.
About it.
No, I just didn't know. I
upset.
just didn't know if you had hesitations having been married and divorced.
There's a difference, I think.
There is a
There's
big
the love
difference.
of her life. So.
There is a big difference. It's like, what I learned in my first marriage, is that, I understand that there's going to be times that, will be kind of dull. And it's not so much about staying in the honeymoon phase. It's about, looking at the relationship in its entirety as, hey, this is our family. We have to look at it as if there's no out. In this relationship, we have a child together. So it's like we have a family. We have that love. We have stood through thick and thin of this last year and a half
Yeah.
of going through so much. So I think we have what it takes. Now it's just kind of about, realizing what we need to do to get there.
Yeah, she has a good support system. And he does too.
He does
Yeah.
too.
He seems great. Do you think if there had never been a Ken, you would have stayed with Ryan?
I don't think so. I think that Ken was the catalyst that helped
Okay,
me
Chrissy.
make my decision. Ken was the catalyst that helped me to give me the courage to, say, hey, this relationship, this marriage is not, it's not where my heart is. And I don't know how long it would have taken me.
What heart? Because Gypsy ain't got one.
To pluck up the courage had it not been for Ken. But at the end of the day, I still would see myself ending the marriage regardless.
Got it. Would you ever do, obviously, reality, like you've done docuseries and documentary, but would you ever do like a competition reality show?
Like to, I always
Masked Singer, Dancing with the Stars? What would you do?
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like I'm not talented with anything. I can't sing. I can't dance.
Okay,
but maybe
Gypsy, wait, Christy, is she talented at anything?
She got some moves.
She's got
girl.
personality for days. So
I got personality.
Yeah. I mean, look, she's not the greatest singer, okay, neither am I. But she
I'm
would be the
not.
one
I
that's
could barely
brave
sing.
her
I
to
thought
do
I
it.
was tone deaf. I went on Masked Singer.
I know. I watched that season that you were on, and I think she would be like, screw it, I'm just gonna go and have fun.
Right.
Right.
I do it just to have fun.
Right. That's part of the experience.
Which one would you choose first?
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars?
I would like that better.
Oh my
Maybe
gosh.
worse than some of them that were on there that couldn't dance at all.
Right.
Just saying.
Wait, they've never approached you?
No, I mean,
No,
I
they're
never
rumors, but
put myself out there in that way. Like I was always, trying to, pick projects that focused on sharing my story. So it's like I never kind of dove into reality TV other than that. So
Well, should I text the producer?
go for it.
Really?
now I'm like,
I'm
oh
telling you to go for it for her. But
I mean, they're just starting this
for
season,
her.
so I'm sure. But next season, yeah. Do you know who Anna Delvey is?
Oh, okay. So Tori Spelling is just friends with anybody that had any kind of infamy.
no, the name sounds familiar.
She's
I have
so
to Google her.
Yeah, me too.
she's very complicated past. Different situation, but people either love her or hate her for what she did and
Was
what
she
her
the one
past
with the ankle
was.
monitor?
Correct.
Okay, that's all I know. I'm like, all I know is it was someone with an ankle monitor.
So yeah, everyone was
Well,
like,
yeah, at least you don't have that.
the preconceived notions about what someone did and whether you agree with them or don't agree with them came into play when I did Dancing with the Stars with her. Everyone was like the noise, the outside noise, which it's hard not to let that get to you, and yeah. So anyway, I met her and I'm like, I'm just going to go into this innocent and accept her for who she is.
I don't know if I would be bragging about being friends with Anna Delvey, Gypsy Rose, Casey Anthony, anybody like that.
We ended up becoming good friends. Like we're still good friends. And people are always like, to this day, like, is that a good look that you're friends with Anna Delvey? And I'm like, yeah, because people's past are their past. And it's like, it's up to them to create the future. And we can't define their past by how we feel about them. I really like her. So yeah. Okay. So you're going to do Dancing with the Stars. It's a pass on Masked Singer.
You love to cook, right? Don't you love to cook? You like to cook? You enjoy cooking?
I love cooking.
I mean, I know you love baking. I used
I
to
think I
watch
would choose cooking first.
I used to watch your reality show with you and Dean. Like I said, I watched everything that you've done. Maybe y'all should get together and cook something.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to. Do you like the Cajun?
No, but we could teach her.
Ooh, we need to make it. I'm gonna have you make a gumbo.
Yeah.
Oh, gumbo. Not turtle soup though. I don't want to make
No.
None of that weird stuff. Like I
No.
think you'd like a gumbo.
But yeah,
Do you guys bake?
I like to bake.
she makes some good
cupcakes.
cookies.
I like to make.
Oh no, here comes Gypsy Rose, baking extravaganza. You are not a celebrity.
Cupcakes.
We don't do from scratch though.
No, but I like to make them.
We do with the boxes.
The boxes are good.
Yeah, I
Sandra
know.
Lee made a career out of doing part,
Right.
already made and part homemade.
But she makes a good icing, so everybody loves it.
Yeah.
It has rum in it. Well, not real rum.
Rum
but
extract.
Oh, I make a wine cake.
Ooh,
So yeah,
wine.
the alcohol always cooks off, so
Ew.
it doesn't really count. But yeah,
Oh, that sounds
okay, we'll have to. Okay, so we're gonna bake, we're gonna cook. This is gonna be a fun and fruitful relationship. I can already feel it. Would you ever do voiceover work? You have such an engaging
I
voice.
would
and unique.
like to.
You should.
I would like.
Okay, the fact that Tori Spelling wants to plug Gypsy Rose and that she's giving her ideas for D-rate celebrities is astonishing. The placating that's going on here.
Sister, there's huge money in that. Like if you can nail that market, yeah.
I will say though, when I recorded my book, that was the most stressful process I think that I've ever underwent. Because it's like reading in studio, I realized that, you have to read exactly word for word how it is printed in the book. And there's so many times that we just kind of, talk how we want to talk. And sometimes the way we talk is not grammatically correct. So I had to do line for line again and again and again, a good 150 times. And
Not even considering all the lies that are in the book, My Time to Stand. The fact that there are so many lies surrounding it from Gypsy and Christy themselves. The fact that Melissa and Michelle are the ones that really wrote the book. And Gypsy says, I went through this line for line for line. And then she says in an interview that she, to be honest, didn't read the book all the way through to check. Christy reiterates that same thing when she did a live panel on TikTok talking to everybody, saying that they had to redo another version of the book with corrections. That's what the editing and proofreading process should have caught before publishing, before doing a book signing and a book release.
And I cussed so much in the booth. I was in the booth for 5 days and I cussed every bit of it away because I'm like, this is so difficult. So I give mad props to all the people that, do audiobooks for a living. It's not easy.
Oh my gosh. Was there video recording you doing this? Oh no, even just the sounds. Wouldn't that be a fun blooper thing?
I'm
to put
sure,
on
I'm
TikTok?
sure my editor has it.
Yeah.
By the way, I've written books, and every book I did, I had the same exact thing. I'd say it wrong, the line, even though I wrote it. I just got going, same as what you're saying, and then I'd be like, fuck, and it was just like
Yes.
over and over.
Over and over. Yes.
No one understands that process.
No.
I'm glad
They're
that
probably
she
so
did it.
used to it in the editing booth.
Yeah.
I think it was a good therapy for her, another form of,
Cathartic.
it's
Yeah.
one thing writing the words, but to say them out loud when everything's like in order and just going through it. It was emotional for her, but I was like, it's a good form of therapy.
It's
I was so proud of
once
her.
you say it, it's almost
No, intensive psychotherapy is therapy. That's what Gypsy really needs.
real, more real than when you just write it down. I understand that. Oh my gosh. I have one last question. I'm
Yes.
sure people have asked you this. In the movie, The Act, how did you feel about Joey King playing you?
I think, okay, so I did not watch all of the act. I watched probably about 30 minutes of it when I got out. She watched it all. But I think Joey King did an amazing job playing me. I even DM'd her like last January, February, and I told her, congratulations. I think you got my stamp of approval. You did a wonderful job. And so
Did she respond?
Yeah. She said that, she hoped that she portrayed me to the fullest extent, that she hopes, it met my approval. It was a huge undertaking, but it was a great exchange. And I really appreciate her courage for taking on such a complex role and story. So.
It's actually not complex. You simply lied and killed your mom just over the fact that you wanted to have the life that you wanted. You could have done that without taking her life. That's the problem. You can't use the abuse excuse when you bring a third party into the mix. That doesn't fly for self-defense either.
For her not visiting with Gypsy, you normally meet
Yeah,
the
why
character you're going to play because Michelle Dean didn't allow it. And that's
The producers, one of the producers.
that's a whole other story. Yeah. And but I even was like, Joey King nailed it, the voice and everything.
I
the
thought
way
for
she
sure
carried
she had come
herself.
to visit you.
No. There's a lot behind the act that nobody talked about, and that was, and essentially,
But how does she know that Joey did a phenomenal job playing her if she only watched 30 minutes of it? How does she know that there's inconsistencies or things that were made up, fictionalized, dramatized? I mean, it was a dramatization. When she says again that she hasn't watched all of it, then how would you know?
Hulu and the producers stole my story and made a huge successful show out of it. Didn't pay me life rights, didn't come to talk to me, didn't have any conversations to know what was accurate, what was not accurate. So to this day,
As if they were going to get the truth from Gypsy Rose Blanchard herself. She's out of prison and off parole and still hasn't told the truth. To learn the truth would have meant getting the case files and speaking to the law enforcement officers that investigated. Because asking a liar and a murderer, yeah, they just lie more. That's what they do. Count on one hand how many murderers you know that came out and were honest before or after getting caught. I'll wait. And yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't count.
a lot of people are like, they will go off of the events that they've seen and the details that they've seen on the act, and they're incorrect because it was filler. It was filled in by producers.
Well, Michelle Dean goes to this.
Sure, that's a whole other story. But
all girl.
but essentially, I spoke out from behind bars and let them know I don't support this. Like, this is wrong. You're taking a tragic event and you are Hollywooding it up, and now
The tragic event that you caused and that you came out and made a ton of money off of. The Prison Confessions of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Life After Lockup, Seasons 1 and Seasons 2, released, My Time to Stand, The View, countless ABC 2020 interviews, podcasts. The hypocrisy is so fucking ripe that it's astonishing. But they say, oh, well, it's her story. Yeah, but she doesn't own Dee Dee's story and she doesn't own Nick's story. Nobody put her in charge of telling their story and their truth, or his mother, Stephanie Goldhammer.
people, when they write me, they're confused because they don't know fact from fiction. That's why I encourage so many times people are like, I've never heard of you. I tell them, go watch HBO documentary Mommy 10 Years instead of saying go watch The Act. Because, one is factual and one is Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, The Act was so over dramatic when there's so much drama already.
My life is naturally dramatic.
It's like, why?
Like, what did they over dramatize?
What didn't they over dramatize?
Really?
I mean,
Like some stuff I just had to roll my head, and it's been a while. But what
Gypsy didn't watch it, so how does she know?
what I did was with In Touch, I debunked the things that were wrong,
Good for
and
you.
yeah, I wasn't gonna allow them to just say, yeah, this is how it is. No, boo, that's not how it was. So I got to say a lot of things, but it was, a lot of people are like the guinea pigs from what we were told, because like,
Oh yeah, people said I had guinea pigs.
yeah, it's
like
like
I had
cats. But I think Joey King was allergic to cats. And that's why they chose guinea pigs. And they're like, oh, she did leave them all at the house. There wasn't any still in the house.
Wait. Sorry. I barely heard that. You didn't have guinea pigs.
I didn't have guinea pigs. No,
She had
I had
cats.
cats. So there was just like.
But is that something they would know? Like, who did they talk to?
Well, I think Joey even was allergic to cats.
Oh.
See, Michelle Dean had called Rod and I and did a great article
She's one of
on
the
the story. And
Oh, all the cats that Gypsy threw outside.
she called us and was like, oh, look, Hulu has reached out. They really loved the article, and we had our conversations. And, she was like, I promise anything they give me, I'm going to cut it, down the line, Gypsy's going to get half. And then she ghosted. Then I was like, me and Gypsy had to talk on the phone, and I reached out to her again. I was like, look, what you're doing is wrong, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, well, I was depressed. It takes 2 seconds to say, how you doing, or whatever. And at that time, I was so frustrated with it all because there was no promises, I was like, can I have it in writing? And, oh, no, I'm good. It'll be good. I'm going to give Gypsy half of what I make off of it. And she didn't. So, she blocked me on everything.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I was a little more ruthless with her. I was pissed, to say the least.
And I was just in prison and didn't have control over anything going on.
And that's why
But it's
Michelle
your life
Dean-
story.
Right.
What a
That's why
violation.
she didn't want any of them to talk to anybody they were playing because they knew I was going to say something. I'd have said something, like, oh my
You hear
goodness.
her talking?
Wait, no.
The fact that Gypsy and Christy keep calling Gypsy's life and her past a quote story unquote tells you that it's a story.
Here. She just wants to say something.
She has a lot to
She's
say
being so
sometimes.
good.
She is. She's
Yeah.
holding it together so good right now.
But she's just looking at us and kicking away in her little chair there and eating her toy.
Was there any portrayal of any character? It's your life. But anyone in your life that there was a character in the movie that they did get right, do you think?
No, they
No.
got Aaliyah all wrong. Her name was Lacey in the show. They played her as a disrespect to, to her mom and everything. And she's totally opposite of what they portrayed her to be. I wasn't really in it too much, except for one scene. But
Did they get the story of Nicholas right at all?
pretty much, I think he was the only one I think that I saw was that, okay, there's not too much, to complain about. But then there were, and I felt sorry for the actor because I'm like, oh God, if you could just notice they're making you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
They really are. I mean, I'm a blunt person and I just say it like it is, but
Yeah, and the act came out in 2019, and Nick's mom passed away well after the act. Did they come to her to ask her about her son's story, or to Nicholas Godejohn himself? But Christy and Gypsy don't like it when people tell Gypsy's quote story unquote, but they're over here trying to say, yeah, they portrayed Nick correctly. How do you know? Did you live in his shoes? Did you grow up in his family? Did they speak to his family? Stephanie has siblings as well. Nick has a father, a stepfather, and a half-brother also.
as far as, Dee Dee, I think they did really well. When Rod watched it, he only watched about the same amount as her, and he was like, is that Patricia Arquette? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh my God, I'll never look at her the same again. Because, they did, she didn't look nothing like herself.
Right.
I'm going to go, but it was so nice to
It was
meet
a
you.
pleasure meeting you. I hope to meet you in person one day.
Well, let's make that happen, huh?
We will.
All right.
And I have to do the ice bucket challenge. I know.
Yes. I can't wait to watch it. And it was
my
cold.
cord extensions.
No, she's not doing the ice bucket challenge.
Okay.
It was cold.
Promises
You get over
promise.
it really quick. You just hop in the hot shower, you get over it real quick.
Just
I
go
did it
outside,
years
get
ago
really
when it
hot
was popular.
first. Go get really hot first outside, and then it's going to feel
Just do it. How many?
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Go into a diaper change.
That's what changed it.
But I think after I watched probably about 30 minutes of it, and I started to kind of be really nitpicky about, the portrayal of my mom. And I was just kind of like, she wouldn't have done that.
No,
Or that's not how she would have said it or anything like that. So I think
You forfeit the right to talk about your mother, her life, her story, or the way that she was, her mannerisms, the way that she spoke. When you fucking took her life, you are the reason that she is no more. You don't get to monetize and capitalize off of her life and her story and her truth. And you certainly aren't going to be the person that owns the life rights to Dee Dee Blanchard or Nicholas Godejohn, who is still alive.
like because I lived with my mom day in and day out, I definitely was more critical of her portrayal of my mom than Joey's portrayal of me.
So if you had it to do over and you were in control, who would you cast as you?
Honestly, I feel like Joey did a really good job. I always thought maybe Millie Bobby Brown.
That is so funny. Is it possible with prosthetics, makeup, and all of that they can turn Millie Bobby Brown into Gypsy Rose? Can you imagine? What a wild concept that she endears herself to Millie Bobby Brown when it's more like Poppy from American Horror Story.
I always liked her. So I definitely, I think that Joey did a really good job. And I mean, it's one of those things. It's kind of like whenever you look at a show or a film and you're like, I can't see anybody else playing that character.
Once you see
Once you see
unsee
it, the visual, you can't see anybody else do it. So
I understand. Well, thank you. Go be with Aurora. I love
Thank
hearing
you.
you. Oh, the feet. Don't you just love the feet?
no, it's just
No, you do not have to remind me. I sped this up because I don't want everybody else to waste their time listening to this. It's already bad enough that I'm doing commentary and reaction and making it over double what it already is. So a lot of these vocal disfluencies that fill this entire thing, I just sped it all the way up. And yes, I know the playback speed is set to 2 times. That is intentional on my end.
Oh my gosh, I used to just like sniff all my baby's feet and like kiss them and like they're so soft. And I always said I was gonna like do craft. I craft a lot, DIY. So I wanted to do something with the baby's feet. I said this with every baby. And then of course, all of them got big. And now my 8-year-old, his feet are like huge. And I'm like, oh, I never did anything with the baby feet. Like, because you can't get that back. And that's the thing. Like you'll see when she gets older, you miss the baby feet so much.
I know. I want to get, I have a few tattoos on me. But I want to get something to represent her. My cousin is a professional tattoo artist, and he's done all of my tattoos. So I want to get something to represent her. And I was thinking maybe the feet. There you go.
Oh my gosh, I just found this insanely beautiful artistic tattoo artist online. That's something totally different, but fine lines. I'm going to send it to you. I know you want your cousin to do it, but this person is like, I'm like, oh my gosh. It's like getting the essence of the person without like it being their face or it being like their exact foot. It's like an outline. She puts it into flowers. Kind of. It's really cool.
Oh, that sounds like something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing she would do it for you.
Send me the link.
The celebrity grifting is phenomenal to watch.
Okay, my friend, thank you for taking the time away from your baby to do this. And I look forward to that whiskey shower video. Doing the ice bucket challenge. We're going on vacation together. I mean, we have lots to do in the future. I'm getting you on Dancing with the Stars, although you can get yourself on Dancing with the Stars, but I'm just going to advocate for you. We have lots to do.
Can't wait. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you. You have a whole life ahead of you. And, you know, things can only define you as much as you let them define you. And it looks like you're really taking that step towards making your own world with your own man, with your own baby, and with your own power inside. So
thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and share.